Hey everyone, this is Jesse with Nintendo Revised, and I'm coming to you with another video here. I just wanted to make a video today related to something very important, which is the topic of, is downloading patches sufficient for preservation? Now, before I get to the topic at hand, I do have a couple of things I want to say first. First, I'm going to be playing already recorded footage of my son playing a game in the background, so I can just put out this video quickly. Also, number two, I wanted to mention why this video came to be in the first place. So as most of you know, I have a Facebook, Twitter, and of course here, YouTube, for the project that I run, which is Nintendo Revised. This particular project is where I work to find reprints, revisions of already printed games. That way we can ensure that we have all the patches and downloads all on the cartridge itself. Now, myself, my team, and many of our followers have been able to find many games that have been reprinted and or revised with every single patch on the cartridge, and then we quote those as being complete on cart. Now, recently, one of our followers brought it to our attention that there is a 004 revised cartridge of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with the expansion pass, which includes both DLCs and has the most up-to-date version on the cartridge, being version 3.0.1. Now, this particular cartridge that was found to be a USA cartridge. Now, prior to this, we already knew that there was such a cartridge that existed in Japan, specifically for Violet and Scarlet with the DLCs, but now we have found them to be in the US as well. And just want to mention real quick, thank you to that follower that provided us this information. Now, as a quick side note, we still don't know of the existence of a cartridge in Europe, so currently we only know of the USA cartridge and, of course, the aforementioned Japanese cartridge, which we found some time ago. Also, when Nintendo released these cartridges originally, which is again the Scarlet and Violet expansion pass cartridges, the original carts only had the base game and the first DLC. The second one had to be downloaded. Now, I don't want to get into the subject of the revised carts themselves. As I said again, the Japanese versions were out for months now, and we've known about it, and it's something that's been just common knowledge within our circles. But I've been seeing online some responses. So the responses I've been seeing is, this doesn't matter. Just download the patch. Just download the DLC. As long as you have it downloaded on your Switch, then you have the patch. You're just wrong. You're vastly incorrect. Yes, technically speaking, you could download the patches now and hope that they stay on your Switch forever. You could download the second DLC for Violet and Scarlet and just hope that it never gets removed from your console. But I have a question for you. What happens if the console just stops working or it bricks? What happens if the patch data gets accidentally removed from your console? Don't think this can happen? Let me provide you an example. Let's talk about the Wii U as an example. Recently, I've seen news indicating that some Wii U's have unfortunately had some issues where the console just bricks. And how does the console brick? It appears as if it's merely bricking based upon not using the console or not having it plugged in for long periods of time. This particular console, the Wii U, had patches for certain games that could be downloaded. It also had DLC for certain games that could also be downloaded. For example, Mario Kart 8 had DLCs that you could download. So, let me ask you again, in case your Wii U bricks because of this potential bug that has recently been found, and that patch gets deleted, and then you walk into a retro store to pick up a used Wii U, guess what? That patch is gone. It's not on your current Wii U because the Wii U that you had downloaded it on bricked. So what if you try to re-download the patch and the servers no longer allow you to do so? Now, let's just make one thing clear. I know that the Wii U eShop has been removed, so it's gone at this time. So no more digital games are available for purchase. I also know that at this time, it is technically possible for you to download the patches for any games that you own. But what makes us believe that Nintendo will keep those servers up going forever? Did they keep the servers up for the Wii? Those are gone. How about the DS? Those are gone too. Oh, and by the way, the 3DS eShop, removed. Nintendo will continue to shut off servers. Let's not pretend that Nintendo will keep these servers up forever. Heck, Nintendo will no longer even repair Wii U's if your console breaks. So you have no choice but to go get another one, or buy another one, buy a used one, or even a new one if you'd like, but you would have to pay a lot of money for that. So that brings me back to the importance of reprints and revisions. So why is this data important for me and my team and my followers? It's quite simple, really. We have all the data, all the patches, all the downloads, all the DLCs on the cartridge. At least for the ones that we have found to have been revised or reprinted. All we have to do is pop in the cartridge to any Nintendo Switch, and it just works right off the box. No internet required, no downloads required, no hacking required. Everything's just there. Which actually brings me to my next point. Yes, some people will bring up the fact that they hack their consoles, and that works for preservation of games. Honestly, this is something that is brought up to me very frequently. And while yes, this is an option for some, it's not an option for all. Now, do you know how many people actually fear hacking their consoles? A lot of steps are not easy to do in the procedure of hacking a console. And in some cases, if you do the wrong step while hacking your console, it could actually brick your console completely if it's not done properly. So then you have to go out and buy a new console anyway. So the option that I'm providing people with the project that I started through Nintendo Revised is actually far easier if you think about it. Sure, you will have to take time out of your day to go online and look for the cartridge on eBay or Mercari or Amazon or whichever store you prefer and find the revised print. Yes, I know that. I also know that Nintendo doesn't make it easy to locate these cartridges if you're just looking at the case, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to update the case to indicate that there is a new cartridge inside. So you have to actually look at the back of the cartridge. And I also know that sellers on eBay and Mercari are not easy to deal with getting them to provide photos of the back of the cartridge. I am well aware of all of that. With all that said, though, at the end of the day, once you find that cartridge, which many of us have that have been following this group for some time, many of us have found those cartridges that we want. And guess what? We're set. We're set, baby. We're just set, because all we have to do, even if our Switch bricks at any time, is just insert that cartridge into another Switch, and guess what? All the patches are already there. We need to stop pretending that this is not important. Now, if you just don't care about the information that I'm putting out there, or you just think that downloading a patch is good enough because that fits your viewpoint, then so be it. I am not here to change your mind. I'm not here to alter your perspective. I'm not here to beg you to come over to this side. But I also need you to stop trying to alter my perspective. I also need you to stop trying to change my mind. It's not going to happen. I have invested far too much time, energy, and money to build up the project to what it is today. And side note, trust me, I am well aware that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a buggy mess of a game, and that the Pokemon Company didn't actually release a perfect product. Trust me, I am well aware. I've played the game myself. I know. But at the end of the day, those of us that actually care about preservation of our cartridges, those of us that care about revisions and reprints, we have access to all of the content and DLC that the Pokemon Company has released up to this point. And there is no need to ever go online for anything, because we have the cartridge that has all content, and both the DLC. Not just the first one, both the DLCs. So for those of you that keep thinking that I'm wasting my time doing what I do, guess what? I'm still here, aren't I? I haven't gone anywhere, have I? Have I stopped? Absolutely not. So stop wasting your time trying to bring me down, trying to persuade me to come to your side. It hasn't worked before, and it's not going to work now. This is Jesse from Nintendo Revised. Out.